This is really a catalytic moment for Canada.
This particular project is the one that could shovel ready in 2026. So the north is the corridor for economic opportunities and the benefits that will enhance Canada.
Canada has been quiet in the Arctic.
I follow news like this closely. Subscribe so you don't miss what happens next.
Canada has been quiet in the Arctic for a long time, but that quiet is ending now. A new deep-sea port in the far north is ready to change everything. This port could make Canada stronger, richer, and more in charge of its own backyard. It could also catch the world by surprise, even the people in power far away. The place is called Qikqtarjuaq. People from Nunavut and local Inuit groups have spent years studying this idea. They checked the land and the water, they listened to the community, they passed the environmental tests, they got approval from the people who live there. Now the port is fully permitted and ready to build. If the government says go, construction could start as early as spring 2026. Why does this matter? Imagine a town that fishes a lot but has no place to unload boats. Right now, many ships have to sail to Greenland or far away to unload their catch. That costs money. It means jobs and profits leave the region. For every trip that ends outside Nunavut, at least $1 million in value can walk away. That is money that never helps local people build homes, run businesses, or hire workers. A deep-sea port fixes that. Fish can be unloaded at home. Fish processing can happen near the water. Jobs stay in the north. That is what we call economic sovereignty, where a place keeps its own wealth. The port site already has a 3,800-foot airstrip. That airstrip could be made longer and stronger. It could be used for more than small planes. Defense officials have noticed this. They see how useful a real port and runway could be. The Davis Strait and the waters near the Northwest Passage are busier now. Ships from many countries watch this area. A new port gives Canada a place to operate from, to watch the water, and to help ships in trouble. This port is not being pushed by a big company from the south. It is led by Inuit groups and local businesses. That matters a lot. When Indigenous people lead a project, it brings local knowledge. It brings respect for the land and the animals. It also builds trust in the community. The work is more likely to help people who live there. It is more likely to protect nature. That is why this port feels different. It is built from the ground up by the people who will live with it. We are watching the Arctic because other countries are already there. Russia has built many northern bases and ports. Norway has modern facilities in its far north. China has been quietly investing in the polar regions and talking about a polar Silk Road. Even the United States is moving, but not as fast as some. For decades, Canada did not build much in its own Arctic. We had the longest coastline, but very little infrastructure. That made Canada the quiet country in the north. Now this port could change that. It is a sign that Canada wants to be more than quiet. It wants to be a leader in the Arctic. If Ottawa helps fund the port and places some Coast Guard or defense presence there, the project can grow fast. The first part of the project will cost about $350 million. Right now, just over $53 million has already been secured. That shows people believe in this idea, but the rest of the money and support is still needed for the project to start. This moment may also surprise world leaders. The United States is focused on many other issues. Some leaders in Washington are busy with trade fights and other problems. That means the U.S. is not looking closely at the Arctic at this time. When a big power looks away, smaller powers can move quietly and build. That is the chance Canada has now. By starting this port while others are distracted, Canada can take a stronger role in the north. A real port will also help Canada in other ways. NATO members have asked Canada for more Arctic work. A deep water port can host Coast Guard ships, Navy ships, and rescue teams. It can support research stations and scientists. It can help with wildlife monitoring and emergency help for ships. All of these things make Canada more useful to its allies and more able to protect its own waters. The port is also a statement about how Canada sees the North. In the past, many governments treated the Arctic as a remote or expensive place. Projects were often symbolic, big speeches with little action. But now leaders say the Arctic should be a permanent part of Canada's future. The new approach sees the North as a place to build real things. It is a place to create jobs, to protect the environment, and to strengthen the country for many years. The Qikqtarjuaq port sits near rich fishing grounds. It could also grow into a hub for tourism, shipping services, and marine research. Boats could stop there instead of sailing far away. Local people could work in plants that clean and pack fish. Tourists could dock safely and learn about Inuit culture. Small businesses could sell services to ships and visitors. All of this helps communities stay strong. This project also changes a big idea: sovereignty. Sovereignty means a country can control and protect its own land and water.
So how do you establish sovereignty? You do it in a number of ways. One, of course, is economic activity. Another is physical presence. Another is communications, investing in infrastructure.
Canada's sovereignty in the Arctic is strongest when the people who live there are in charge. With Inuit leaders guiding the port, Canada shows that it respects its Indigenous people. This makes Canada's claims in the North stronger and more honest.
One project that is fully permitted with environmental approval, with the support of the local community, that can start construction right now.
It also helps to prevent outside powers from setting up shop without real local support. There are risks and hard choices. Building in the Arctic is not easy. The weather is harsh. Work seasons are short. The cost is high. People worry about how new projects will affect wildlife and traditional ways of life. That is why this project went through long studies and environmental reviews. It got permission only after many careful checks. The leaders say they will keep listening to the community and protecting the land and sea. The world will be watching.